What's up, nerds? So today I am going to show you how I built my 1/12 scale diorama of Hogwarts, the Great Hall. And it's just the stage portion of it because I didn't have the room to do the whole hall. But I did the stage where the teachers sit on everything. Now this is just the Great Hall. I'll have another video to show you some of the accessories I made for it, like a table, and I want to do some other stuff with it, and I'll show it to you when I get done with it. I'm going to show you how I made it and everything, and yeah, so here we go. All right, you guys, so the first thing I did was I cut out this like house looking thing, and then I drew in the archway here. And I wanted to do it right. Now, I will be honest with you when we get to the end of the video. I did not measure out correctly, you guys. I didn't measure out the sides in proportion to this archway. And I thought I did, but I didn't. Here I am just measuring everything. And when we get to the very end of this video, you'll see that I did not measure out correctly. But I did measure out with this thing. So this is a piece of cardboard that came with the game. I was measuring it out so I could do these little squares in here for the base portion of the thing. So this is the archway that I've drawn out. It's a little light. You can't really see it, but that is where the archway for the window is going to go, that little conclave. So then I cut that out. Here I am cutting it out. So there we go, and be safe. You'll find that out later, but be safe while cutting. So here's those little baseboards. So I just took a piece of cardboard, and it's basically just, you know, a regular piece of cardboard. I think it's the bag of a cereal box or something. I can't remember. And then I cut out those little squares to so I could then make it like a boxy looking thing. If you look at pictures of the Great Hall, you can tell what's going on. So here I am cutting out even more. It took a long time to cut these out because the cardboard was a little bit thicker than most cardboard. Maybe it wasn't a back of a cereal box. So then I painted it brown, and I painted it a darker brown than I was going to paint the baseboard or the backboard of this. So here I am just painting it brown. And I painted it a lighter brown and everything. And then after that, I started working on the archways, the little banisters and stuff. I think that's what they're called, banisters. So I started measuring out slash drawing them. And I have to tell you, like, as I was measuring, and I had to do it in two pieces because I couldn't find a piece of cardboard big enough that was like thinner. I could only find like thicker pieces of cardboard. So, and that was turning out to be very problematic. So here I am just measuring out and drawing all these little archways. It doesn't look like much if you look at it because it's just, you know, very rudimentary in like the beginning stages of it. But I was, you know, writing stuff down and everything. But this process was, I don't know, kind of therapeutic, but, you know, I mean, and a little fun, a little bit just to draw this stuff in. But it turns out differently later on. But yeah. So here I am, continuing to measure stuff out. And I did enjoy this process. I'm not going to lie. It was really fun to keep looking at pictures of, you know, the Great Hall. Here I am. Later on, you'll see that I end up not using this. I end up not using a lot of stuff that I had done just because I was, you know, you know how it is. You got to try and try again. And I was experimenting with different stuff, with different, stuff that I had never used before. I'm trying to think of the right words to use. So I cut out this doorway. Like, this was the doorway I was going to use. And I was going to put that on top of there. Now, later on, I will get rid of that idea because I painted this. So I painted this this brown, and this was what I was going to use to go through it and everything. And I really wanted to. I love the Great Hall. It's like one of my favorite places in Hogwarts. It's just so, like, you know, memorable and everything. So, and then this is the door that leads down to the little trophy room, if you remember, in number 4, movie number 4 / book number 4, that all the Triwizard Tournament champions go down in there. And Well, it's not necessarily movie number 4, but it's in book number 4. And so here I am, and this is the door. Now this foam is like that stuff that you fill in with pipes. Now I am cutting away because this is what I'm going to use for the archway. What I was going to use for the archway. Now, if you, just so you guys know, always wear a glove, because as I was cutting this towards the end here, you'll see I was cutting all this stuff off, and then I cut straight into my finger, my thumb right there. It bled all over the place. See, I'm wearing a glove now, so I can't get cut, and I'm cutting all of this stuff off. Now, at first, I thought this was going to work out really well, but the foam, you'll find out later, it doesn't, it ends up not working out. So these are the walls for my Great Hall diorama. And so I'm cutting off just, you know, all this extra stuff because I don't need it exactly that big. So I started cutting stuff off because I needed it within a specific space, but it ended up turning out or working out well in terms of the Great Hall the scale, the 1/12 scale. So here I am gluing the walls onto the sides. I had to tape them on and everything and then glue them because it was a little bit hard. So here I am, and now I came to a problem. Here was the top of the archways, and I did not measure out correctly like a big dummy, and there was this gap. So I was like, all right, how can I fix this? And I was like, what I'm going to do is I am going to stick a piece of cardboard on top of that and glue it down to where it connects these two to where it's still a an angle, and yet still, you know, there's no hole. So I'm just gonna to do that. So then here is the final, what I did finally. I just connected it with a piece of cardboard, and it would get covered up later on as I went on, because I would just do the outside as, like, you know, roofing and stuff. So then here is the window in the back. So I printed out some window panes and everything because I was drawing them on, but it wasn't working out as well as I thought it was. So I was just like, I'm just going to trace on the window panes and everything. So I started cutting it out of paper, and then I was just like, I'll just trace it, like outline it. So that's what I did. That's me doing this here. I'm just cutting it out. And then I will be putting it on the back of that. So here it is. Here's me tracing it, of course. And then I was, as soon as that's done, I'll cut those out, and we'll get this back little, this little nook on the stage and everything. So here I am again tracing. Then I just did the same thing, just I just did one slot of window panes, and then I was just continuing with tracing them out, which it worked out, which you'll see in a little bit. It did work out. Again, I find this a little therapeutic just to work on this kind of stuff. I don't know how you guys feel about this stuff, but I personally like it. I got all of this printout of this thing. I got it online, but it was a printout or a blueprint of the Great Hall. And so here is the archway. I'm gluing that back onto the cardboard. And I did use some like chopstick type things to hold it up because I was afraid that it would just slump over while I was trying to glue it. But here I am gluing on the, I'm getting rid of all the little strings, but just gluing on the sides of this to the back window where I will be. I'll paint it later, but you'll see. And then, so let's take a look at when I got this all done. So I got this all done. This was it. And I just needed to then, once this was all done, now that this is all done, I needed to glue an archway here, which, like I said before, here I am gluing on bricks. Well, what I'm using is bricks. And I'm using egg cartons, because egg cartons really worked out, the cardboard kind. They give that rough, like, exterior, like, thing of brick. I really liked that. I tried to cut all of the bricks here the same because I feel like the creators of Hogwarts would have had everything very, like, you know, everything would have been like scaled out and everything, or I don't know if that's the right word. But so then I just started gluing it on. And there's my door. Now I use that just as a template, but here I am. I've got to do the doorway, and I didn't want the bricks to to go on top of the bricks. I wanted to like, be, so I glued these on a piece of paper, and then I cut out the doorway arch of this piece of paper. And this is the final product in terms of that. Now I didn't worry about these little gaps here because I was gonna paint black over top of this, and then I was going to color over it with the color. So then I wanted to worry about the roof. So I used these popsicle sticks, and I just cut off the ends because they have those round ends. So, and then once I did that, I had this. So I had this long board. It was like kind of like a 2x4, except, not. And I then, once I got done with that, I started gluing these suckers on. So here's me. I took off the ends, and then I started gluing down the wood planks or popsicle sticks, and just started making the roof. And this took a long time. Gluing stuff down took the most time, and cutting off the ends of these popsicle sticks. It took so much time. And I also do the same thing with the floor, which you'll see later. But here I am. I'm just basically just gluing and gluing. It took so much time. This is the not so fun part, but this was the final product. I like how it turned out. It looks very much like a roof or whatnot, and I liked it. Here is the banisters, which I haven't cut yet. I'm going to cut all of this stuff out and then put it up in there. So it's going to be covering up a lot of the brick that's there. I just wanted it to look nice. So here I am cutting out each individual thing. It took so long to cut all this stuff out, and this cardboard is so much thicker than I thought it was, which is fine. It's just I didn't realize it was going to be as thick, so it took a lot of time to cut out every single little thing. But once I got it done, I really did like it. I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot more than I thought I would. It's just it took so long with every little tiny little thing that you had to cut out. But yeah, it was worth it. You'll see it in the end. So here I am painting. This is the brown, because this is where those little one planks are going to go. So I just painted all this brown, both sides, and I wanted to, it didn't need to be necessarily pretty because I was gonna, cover it up. Basically, I just needed it to be brown. So then once that was all done, I then you'll see later there in the final product. But then I started painting the roof, because this was a roof. It was, wood. I just I'm gonna do the same brown. So I just started painting it, and then I started putting on this black. I basically took paint and added some black ink to it. It didn't turn out as great. It was a little, it was a little more gray than black, but it was fine. It worked out well, good enough for what I needed it for. So I just covered all of that up, So this is the door. I realized I didn't want to do that one with the thing. So I just glued popsicle sticks onto that piece of cardboard that I had before, because I was like, oh, well, these will be like wooden planks also. So I just glued on popsicle sticks, and I just kept going, and I was like, let's see how this turns out. So then all of that was done. I then had this door, which wasn't perfect, but it was what it was, and it worked out for me, I guess. I just needed a door to be there. So then I painted that sucker. Here I am painting it. It looks better than I thought it would, but it's not perfect. But what are you gonna do? It's trial and error with this kind of thing, especially if you're a diorama builder. And so maybe I'll go back and fix it later on. So here I am painting over the bricks with this beige. I will also admit that I wish I had gone with more darker color than this beige. But it's fine. It's fine. So then I started coloring individual bricks with this lighter one. I also went through and did some in gray. Just to thing out. Now here's the floor plan. This is one solid thing, but I don't use all of this. So then I started gluing down popsicle sticks again for the floor. This took so much time, you guys. Gluing and cutting took the longest time. but this is fine. It's just the I like painting better than I do this portion of the program, but you know, it ends up looking really good. Like here's the floor. I really liked it, how it turned out. I thought it would look bad, but it actually looks pretty good. And then I painted it brown. I actually spray painted this, and I think that it turned out really, really well. I like how this turned out with the floor. So then the archway, I ended up doing a cardboard one because the foam didn't work out, and then I tried to do that whole thing with you put paper towel over stuff, but it just didn't work out. I just ended up using cardboard, and it looks fine. I like it. And so here's the oh gosh, what are they called? The banisters and everything. So here I am gluing it on the front. I glued one on the back, if you can see there in the back. And so here's the final product, you guys. It sits on my shelf right now. I still have to do some accessories for it. But here's Dumbledore with the Goblet of Fire. There's the door in the archway. You know, you can see it. There's a little bit of stuff right here. That's just from the glue. I just have to go over it again. But here it is. It's a 1/12 scale diorama of Hogwarts, the stage of Hogwarts. I'm personally, you know, it didn't... measuring wise, it didn't work out well, but I'm really happy with it. I think it'll, like, once I start putting stuff in there, like figures and stuff, I think it'll look really, really well. And once I do some accessories like a table and some chairs and stuff, I think it'll really turn out. But this is my final product, and I'm happy I did it, and it was very fun. I can't wait for my next one. All right, you guys, so that is my Great Hall, my 1/12 scale diorama of the stage from the Great Hall. You know, tell me, what do you guys think about this? Do you like it? Do you not like it? You know, did I help you guys out? You know, tell me what you think. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. You know, I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And we'll see you guys on my next diorama. You guys have a good day. Alakazoo. Hey guys, if you like this, go ahead and check out my main channel at Geek What, link in the description down below. If you want to help support me even more, you can check out my merch store, also in the link down below. Thanks so much, I really appreciate it.